Okay, let's begin this. Okay, so the first question. First question, as it says, a fair spinner with five sides and numbered from 1, 2, 3, 4 is spun repeatedly. The score on each spin is the number on the side on which the spinner lands. Find the probability that a score of 3 is obtained. Okay, is obtained for the first time on the 8th spin. So this is like simple geometric with P, and P would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So simple 1 upon 5, and we have to find that for the first time on the 8th spin. So for the 7th, it's failure. So 1 minus 1 upon 5, failure is 4 upon 5, right? So 4 upon 5 power 7, 1 upon 5 on the 8th, and finally we are getting a value of 0.0419. Okay, this statement tells us that this is geometric. Next, find the probability that fewer than 6 spins are required to obtain a score of 3 for the first time. Again, 3 for the first time, fewer than 6. Again, it's simple, that is geometric. So, we can write it like this. P of x is less than 6 is equivalent to basically P of x is less than equals to 5 is equivalent to 1 minus q5, and that is equal to 1 minus 4 upon 5 power 5, and this is equivalent to somewhat 2101 upon 3125, that is 0.67. So next we have that it says that Georgie has a red, blue, yellow scarf. Each day she wears exactly one of these. The probabilities are given differently: zero point 0.2, 0.45, 0.35. When she wears a red scarf, she always wears a hat. Okay, when she wears a blue, wears a hat with a probability of zero point 0.4, and with a yellow, the probability is zero point 0.3. Okay, so let's make a tree diagram of it. Okay, so we can do it with a tree diagram, we can do it anywhere else as well, but let's do it with a tree diagram. So this is red, this is blue, this is yellow. And what are the probabilities? 0.2, right? This is 0.45. This is 0.35. Okay. Now with the head, okay. So the probability, it says that the major statement was when she wears a red scarf, she always wears a hat. Okay. So always wears a hat, so it means the probability is 1. Because then not hat would be 0. Okay. For blue, it says she wears a hat with a probability of zero point 0.4. So this is zero point 0.4. So not hat would be 0.6. Similarly with yellow, she wears a hat that has a probability of zero point 0.3. Not hat would be zero point 0.7. Okay, now find the probability that on a randomly chosen day Georgie wears a hat. Okay, so hat. So first outcome would be this one. Second, this. Third, this. Okay, so it is zero point 0.2 into 1 plus 0.45 into zero point 0.4 plus third one is zero point 0.3 is this, 0.35 is this. So 0.35 into zero point 0.3. Final values, this is 0.2, This is coming 0.18. This is coming 0.105. And our final answer is 97 upon 20. 200, that is equivalent to 0.485. Now it says that find the probability that on a randomly chosen day Georgie wears a yellow scarf given that she does not wear a hat. Okay. So yellow and does not wear, right? First thing, what is the probability of not wearing a hat? It would be 1 minus the probability of wearing a hat that we found in the last question. So it is equal to 1 minus 0.485. That is equivalent to 0.515. Okay, since it's a given that, it means this is conditional probability. We would be writing yellow given that not hat is equals to probability of yellow intersection not hat upon not hat probability. Okay, the intersection part can be found if you look at the diagram. This is 0.35 into zero point 0.7. So 0.35 into zero point 0.7, and our final answer is 49 upon 103, that is equivalent to 0.476. Okay, now the time comes for this. Shoppers in a large shopper has a normal distribution with mean this, standard deviation this. So X is following mean, normal, mean is 96, and standard deviation is this. So we write variance over here. Find the probability that a shopper chosen at random spends between 85 and 100 minutes in a shopping center. So we have to find this. So basically the probability is 85 is less than X is less than 100. Okay, so we would be finding it 85 minus 96 upon 18 is less than Z is less than 100 minus 96 upon 18. It's the way that we write it down. Because in terms of x, we write the x values. In terms of z, we write the z score. Z is equals to basically x minus mu upon standard deviation. So that's what I have written. Okay, after this we have, if we calculate the value, we are getting first value of minus 0.6111 is less than z is less than 0.222. Then carrying it over here, we have point. We can directly tabulate from the tables the positive value minus bracket 1 minus the value of 0.61, and our final answer is coming 0.3174. Okay, now looking at this question. Okay. So 88% of shoppers spend more than t minutes in the shopping. Find the value of t. So we have to find the probability that x is greater than t is given 0.88, and first of all we would like to find the value of this. This is coming 0.88 is equivalent to 1.175. Okay, then the z is
Isn't it 1.185?
okay, now this is coming 1.175. Since it's greater, so what we would do, we would put a negative value over here. 1 minus 1.175 is equivalent to, it says t, so t minus 96 upon 18. So after multiplying, we are getting a value of t. T is coming to 74.85, which is approximately equal to 74.9, and the unit as well, that is minutes. Okay, now coming to question number 4. It says that x takes the values of this, the probability x takes the value of this. The function is given as well, and we have to draw this function. So the values of x in the table would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the function x equals to x. Just substituting 1 over here, we are getting k into 1 is k into 5 minus 1 is 4, so it becomes 4k. The other is substituting 2 over here, so it becomes 2k outside and 3 inside, so 6k. Then we have, if we substitute 3, so 3k outside, 2 inside, 6k again. And similarly for 4, we are getting a value of 4k. These are the values of the probability distribution table. Now it says that the variance is given as 1.05. Okay, so first of all, we would be finding the value of k. So k would be summing all of them. How much they are? 4, 10, 20. Right? So I would be writing 20, or I can just write them individually. 6k plus 6k plus 4k. The sum of probability is 1, so that's why it's 1. K is coming 1 upon 20. First time. Okay. Then what we have to do? We can find E of x. E of x would be multiplying with the x values, that is x comma p of x. So x in the first one is 1, so 1 into 4 upon 20. For the second one is 2, so 2 into 6 upon 20. For the third one, 6 upon 20. For the fourth one, 4 into 4 upon 20. So by multiplying this E of x, we are getting 2.5. For the variance of x, this is equivalent to x square dot p of x minus x bar whole square, or E of x whole square. So if we square the values, squaring the values would be 1 into 4 upon 20 plus 4, 2 square 4 into 6 upon 20 plus 3 square is 9 into 6 upon 20. 4 square is 16 upon 4 upon 20. This is coming, adding all of them, we are getting 146 upon 20. So variance of x is equals to, this is x square dot p of x, 146 upon 20 minus 2.5 whole square, and we are getting a final value of 1.05 as asked. Now in this question number 5, this is a cumulative frequency curve. So if cumulative have come in this February 2021 attempt, so it is expected that in the May, June, perhaps in the mocks as well, they would be giving you box and whisker. Okay, so focus on box and whisker or stem and leaf, these two things more, because it has appeared in the exams. Okay, now looking at the cumulative frequency, so you can just make this over here cumulative frequency. This is 12. 12 plus 16 is 28. 28 plus 32 is 60. Then I have 132, 126 mainly. Again 126. Then 20, 146, and this is 150, matching this and this. Now we have to make the cumulative frequency. So the final value is going till 150. If I start from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. So till 12, uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if we like make it of 15, so it would be made till here 150. This would be 135. This would be 120. This would be 105, 90. Okay, it would be 15, 30, 45, 60, and 70. Okay, starting off with the values and plugging them. Okay, so the first value is coming 12, and over here as well, how many we have to go? We have to go till 60. So 1, this is 20 for example, this is 40. Oh, 10 would be a better estimate. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. Okay, so starting off till 4. So 4 would be somewhere here. We have 12. So 4 here. This is the first point. Then till 10 we have 28. So 10, 28 would be over here 28. Then we have till 20 we have 60. So till 20 we have 60. This is 60. Then we have till 30 we have 126. So the biggest jump is over here. This is the 30th mark, 126. Then we have 146 till 40, so this is 40. And 135, 146 would be here. Until at the 68th mark we have 150. So if we join them, it would be somewhat like this. Okay. Now it says that for 30% of the journeys, part B. So cumulative frequency is this. Don't forget to like label them. Okay. What is distance in kilometers? This one is, and this is number of journeys. Okay. Now coming to the second part, it says that for 30% of the journeys, the distance travel is d or more. Okay, so first of all example, 30%, right? So this is 30 upon 100 of these journeys. So how many journeys are there? 150. So it means that this is 45, right? So we would draw a line from 45 and where it is 45, this would be here, and this would be coming, we are coming over here. Okay, so out of these we can say that the value that is coming from the graph, perhaps the graph might not be that much accurate, right? So we can have a calculation from the different points as well. For example, 30% is 45. So it means that out of a total, how many are d kilometer or more? Those are like 105 journeys. Okay, this is the first part. Okay, so accordingly, the values that we are getting. So as per the graph, the value that we are getting of D is equals to 18 kilometer. Okay. So check it from your graph as well, like I have made it over here. So perhaps there might be a difference. Now the next point is calculate an estimate of mean distance traveled for 150 journeys. So mean, since it is in terms of interval, so we would be taking the average, and since there is a difference between the two, so we would be first of all making this difference disappear, right? So for example, our first range would be, if you are saying so, it would be like 4.5, and then it would be starting for 4.5 till 10.5, then from 10.5 to 20.5, then 20.5 to 30.5, 30.5 to 40.5, and 40.5 till 60.5. Now, for our x, for the mean is what? Mean is equals to summation f of x upon summation f. So, what is our mean? Mean for what is our x? X would be the midpoint. This is equivalent to 2.25, and this is coming 7.5. This is coming 15.5. This is coming 25.5, 35.5, and this is 50.5. Okay, now you know the frequency as well. Frequency is what? 12, 16, 32, 66, 20, and 4. Okay, so multiplying the two, we are getting f of x, and f of x values are, the first value would be 2.25 into 12, we are getting 27. The second is 120. Third is 496. Then we have 1683. Then we have 710. Then we have 202. This is f of x. Summing these values, we are getting 3283. And so for the mean, we have sum of f of x upon sum of f, that is equivalent to 3283 upon 150, and we are getting a value of 21.59, approximately equal to 21.6 kilometer. Okay, now the first thing about permutation and combination, it says that find the total number of different arrangements. So arrangements word is used clearly on the word caterpillar. Repeated question as well. Caterpillar has come previously as well. Okay, so how many words are there? 11 letters. So 11 factorial first. How many are common first? Two L's. Then we have another two R's and we have two A's. So our final answer is coming 4989600. Okay, it's like this. Now the next part is asking us that find the total number of find the total number of different arrangements of 11 letters of these words, which there is an R at the beginning and R at the end, and two A's are not together. Okay, so first things they are saying is R, one R is at the beginning and one R is at the end. The first part is this. Okay, what we have to do, we have to find out that what will happen if the A's are together. So it means that A would be considered one box, right? For example, this is R, their places are fixed. And then A's place is fixed, like it will be considered one box. So how many places has been taken? One place, two place, and this would be the third place. So if I am saying 11 minus these two, and this is like one box, so 3. So 11 minus 3 is equivalent to what it would be? It would be 8 factorial, 8. So it means that in between the movement is taking place in 8 places. So it would be considering this box as well, it would be 8 factorial. And in these, what is the common part? In these, look, there was R, so there is only one common left, that is L. So this would be upon 2 factorial. So what I have found out? I have found out that two A's are together. Okay, I have found one thing, that both of the A's are together. But the question is asking that what I have to find? I have to find that two A's are not together. So if they are not together, so I would be saying that without any restrictions of A, if I remove this part from this question and find the values of the arrangement, I would be finding R and R at the beginning. So 1 R and 1 R at the end. So it would be, without considering this A part, we would be getting simple 9 factorial divided by both A's would be there, 2 factorial, multiply by 2 factorial, both L's would be there as well. So this would be the part without any of the A restrictions. And if I subtract this part, that is A's are together, I would be able to find the value of two A's are not together. So for two A's not together, it would be 9 factorial upon 2 factorial into 2 factorial minus 8 factorial upon 2 factorial, and this is equivalent to 90720 minus 20160, that is equivalent to 70560. Wordings, it clearly says different selections. So selections means that we have to apply a combination. Okay, of 6 letters from 11 letters. of the word caterpillar that contains both R's and at least one A and at least one L. Okay, so this is the one that we have to find. Okay, let's have a look at this. So it says that both R's are there, right? So if I am making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So both R's are there constant. At least one A and at least one L. There are two L's, right? So I can put two L's. There are two A's as well. So I can select two A's. Right? Since the order doesn't matter, so this is one outcome. Okay. Now let's have a look at another one. If I say, so I would be saying, okay, two R's are there. So these two places are fixed, right? So similarly, two R's. And I would be saying, let's have a look at two L's because at least one L is required and one A, and then one would be another one. So two L's same, one A, and this is some other word, right? Now this some other word can take the places, can change places. Okay, so this one would be here, two, three, right? Four and five. So it we would be saying, okay, if this one word is different, so it would be 5C1. Then what I would be doing, this was like with one L, right? How about if I make with one L, one A? Because it says at least one L and at least one A. So both the R's, right? Then we have one A, one L. Okay, how many there? Then there are two others. So it would be 5C2. Okay, so how many outcomes are there? This is the first one. This is the second one. Okay, similarly for this one, if we have two L's and one A, why not we should have two A's and one L and the other. So R, this would be A, one L, and one would be other. These are two others. So one is other, same as this outcome, except this is with A's, this is with L's. So it would become 5C1. Okay. So the total number of outcomes are, total selections would be 1 plus 5C1, and this is 5C1, this one plus 5C2. This is equivalent to 1 plus 5 plus 5 plus 10. The final answer is 21 selections. Okay, now this question, question number 7. Find the probability that the student prefers swimming. So it's better that you make another table of totals on all the sides, right? So if you made it total, so it would be 220 over here. This is coming 180. This is coming, total is 400. Summing these up is coming 158. Summing these up is 107. Then this is 135. Okay, find the probability that the student prefers swimming. Swimming is 135 divided by total 400. This is coming 27 upon 80. Determine whether the events the student is male and the student prefers swimming are independent, justifying your answer. So for this part 2, we would be solving it over here. Over here, okay, over here. So for the student is male. If you look at the tables, you are getting it's 180 upon 400. This is coming 9 upon 20. Then it's swimming. This is 27 upon 80 as we found earlier. Now the question is whether the events are independent. The probab For the two events to be independent, like for P of M, right, and S to be independent, it should be that P of M intersection S, this is intersection, is equivalent to P of M multiplied by P of S. Right? If we look at this, so we are seeing that those which are male as well as doing swimming, the intersection part is 31 upon, so it is 31 upon 400 P of M intersection S. And accordingly, from here, our value which is coming using these two is 9 upon 20 multiplied by 27 upon 80, which is not clearly not equal. These two are not equal. So these events are not independent. Now, on average, at all the schools in the country, 30% of the students do not like any sports. So they do not like. 10 of the students from this country are chosen at random. Find the probability that at least 3 of the students do not like any sports. So this is clearly there is an n given to us. There is a p given. So this is binomial n and p, and x is following binomial. The n and p is n is 10, p is 0.3. Okay, at least 3 they are saying. So p of x is greater than equals to 3 is equals to 1 minus, because 3 is included in this, x is less than equals to 2. So this is coming 1 minus, we have 10, first of all see 0 bracket, x is less than equals to 2 would be 1 minus p of, first of all x would be 0, then x is equals to 1, and then x is equals to 2. So 10C0, first value is what we have. 10C0 means 0.3, that is 0. 0.7, 10 plus 10C1, 0.31. This is 0.79 plus 10C2, 0.32, 0.78. And this is being subtracted from this. So we are getting a final value 1 minus 0.3827 equivalent to 0.6173. Now coming to the next part, it says 90 students from the country are now chosen using approximation that you would be approximating it to normal, right? Two conditions for normal is that NP should be greater than 5 and NQ should be greater than 5. If you look over here, NP, it is coming 90 into 0.3. 0.3 it's given to us. Okay, so this is 27, again greater than 5. So we would be using a normal approximation, and this is the mean, this is variance. Variance is equals to 90 into 0.3 into 0.7. We are getting 18.9. Okay, so x is following normal distribution. Mu is coming 27, variance is 18.9. We have to find how much fewer than 32, I think so. Yes, fewer than 32. So we have to find P of x is less than 32 using continuity correction. Okay, so less than 32, so it would be z is less than equals to 31.5 minus 27 upon root of 18.9, and we are getting z is less than 1.035, and tabulating this value from the tables we are getting 0.8497 approximately equals to 0.850. This is the end of